Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to The Drop, episode 6. I am joined, of course, again, with my good bud,
Jordan.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
I'm well. It seems like we were just here a few minutes ago, you know? It's just,
I don't know.
it's wild how these things just, time flies. It's a week later, but it seems like it's just a little bit ago, you know? Guys, let us know how we've been doing online. Let us know what you guys think of our Instagram, what you think of all of our social medias. This episode's kind of going to be reflecting on all that. So let us know what you guys think. Also, if you guys are liking the topics that we're talking about, if you're not liking them, let us know. And then also give us feedback or give us things that you think you'd want to hear about or some things you're curious about. I don't know about you, but I know that I personally really want this page to be like a kind of an in-between sort of thing for people that are kind of really new to snowboarding all the way to people that have been snowboarding for 40 years, you know?
Yeah, I think it's
So,
exactly what we're trying to do.
If you're one of those people that's brand new and you've got a really basic topic, great. If you're one of those people that's been snowboarding forever and wants to know our opinion on whatever, let us know that too. So we're excited to be doing this with you guys. So like I was kind of mentioning, this episode is all about social media. We've kind of briefly touched on it, but the two main real topics of this show are going to be disinformation in snowboarding. Well, first of all, I guess we could put it this way. On Facebook and all these different pages, there are these groups that people can post whatever they want. They can make any kind of recommendations they want. They can be like, but a lot of the people that are on those groups really are not in touch with snowboarding. And then you get a lot of people on those groups that make posts or make comments about the people that are trying to kind of protect snowboarding in a way. And then at the end of the day, you also have people that are making recommendations on certain equipment or certain things that is just not, it's not that it's not good, but there's a reason why other people are recommending other things. Have you had any experience with any of these groups?
I'm pretty green to it. You kind of introduced me to some of it, but yeah, I'm pretty new to some of these groups. So
there's 4 big ones. I actually started my own. It's called Common Sense Snowboarding, I did join. Yeah, and that one's just like, look, so okay. There's 4 main pages. You've got the Snowboard Traders, which is like vintage Snowboard Trader and just like the new Snowboard Trader. I think there's even just a Snowboard Trader. But then there's also Dig My Quiver. Then there's also Snowboarding. And then there's Snowboarders. And then there's No Rules Snowboarding. And then there's all these different. No Rules Snowboarding was actually started by Tudor, kind of type.
I think I'm on that one.
Yeah. But long story short, each one has its own rules. Each one has its own things. But also each one has its own like vast size of members. Like I think Snowboarding has like 150,000 members of that Facebook group, you know? Okay. Snowboard Trader and Vintage Snowboard Trader, I believe are, there's another one, Board Vault. But those ones are all private. So you have to like kind of answer a little bit of questions in order to get there. So they're able to sort of filter out some of the totally amateur people. But the reason I wanted to bring this up today was because somebody had commented, hey, I'm looking for like a new pair of goggles, and I'm just like kind of curious. Now, obviously you and I both kind of have like one foot in the door because we both kind of like ride for, we get stuff from Dang Shades, right? Yeah. We're with Chris. We do stuff with him. Now, with that being said, I would probably still go out and buy that, just because I am not in the market to spend $195 on a pair of Oakleys or $240 on some fire lensed, whatever, right? Now, on that post, I said, hey, you should check out Dang Shades. And then one of the people that commented on it was like, oh, this looks like another one of these shitty Alibaba brands or whatever.
Seriously?
Yeah. And I was like, well, first of all, and I commented back, I was like, look, man, there are a lot of Alibaba brands, but one thing you're forgetting is that most goggle companies are using the exact same molds, You know, like Electric has the exact same molds as like a bunch of other brands. Like I forget what brand it is recently. I just saw they have like the same mold as an old like Iris goggle frame, you know? And so it's like it's these same frames that you've seen in forever, but it's just who are the people behind it, really, you know? You're all getting pretty much the same thing, you know? It's a double lens anti-fog. It's a double-lensed anti-fog reflective mirror lens, no matter what brand you're buying.
Well, we even looked into it at one point, remember?
Totally, yeah.
Like, oh, we could start a board brand. Like,
For boards, or I mean, anything. A lot of the same, everything for the most part, or a lot of things are made at the same places, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the reason why I brought up the part about disinformation is because this person commented like, oh, well, why don't you just go out and get blenders? You know, do you know what blenders are?
I've seen it's like a stripe logo.
2-stripe logo, yeah, and they are almost exactly like Beresford, but with just a lot more money. Basically, they start off making like sunglasses, and then
like a Shady Rays almost.
Shady Rays was another one that somebody brought up, and
do they make goggles?
Yes, like, but here's where I go off on a little bit of a tangent, or not a tangent, but off on a little bit of like a thing. I'm not like, the reason I'm not going to go and buy a pair of blenders is because blenders is doing absolutely zero things for snowboarding. What they are doing is they are using mass advertising on Facebook, even on TV, in order to get people to click on their page. And then they see that they make goggles, or they're advertising on Amazon or whatever it is. And that's bringing people into this brand. Blenders gives zero shits about snowboarding. You know what I mean? Same with Shady Rays. Same with all of the Zion Ore. Like, these are all brands that are made to just collect money. You know, they're not
pay snowboarders. Do they have.
I have seen. Now I don't know. I've seen Kyle Mack wearing Blenders goggles. I've never seen anybody wearing Shady Rays ever.
I saw Shady Rays actually opened a store in the Mall of America.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, but like, I get what their market is, but I have no problem with companies like that doing that. But what I have a problem with is when people are recommending those brands, but then shitting on somebody like Dang Shades, when Dang Shades, out of all of those brands that we just mentioned, is the only one ran by a snowboarder, ran out of essentially their garage, and just trying to support snowboarding. You know?
Yeah.
Every single one of those brands pretty much makes the exact same thing because they all get the exact same mold, made in the exact same place. You know?
Yeah. Well, so, if we're talking eyewear, like Exotica, right? They own like all.
Well, yeah, I mean, and then you have Luxottica, which owns, do they own Von Zipper now? Another Oakley.
Maybe.
Used to be Arnett.
Arnett.
Yeah. I'm not sure what all brands Luxottica is. But again, that's a different ballpark. We're talking there about $100 or $200 pairs of goggles, you know? Like, that's not what I want. I mean, the thing that first of all, I like simplicity and I like low cost, you know? And both of which Dang Shades does perfectly. So, I mean, that's where I stand with that brand. But as far as like recommending other brands go, the reason why people recommend what they recommend is to keep money in snowboarding, right? Like, I don't want some surfer bra from wherever to be making money off of snowboard goggles when there's another brand that, like, why is this person recommending blenders, right? Yeah. When he could be recommending the snowboarders version of that, which would be Dang Shades, right? So it's like really frustrating when I see that kind of stuff. And then the other thing that kind of ties into that was somebody posted on, I forget which one of those pages. It was either Snowboarders or something else. Okay. Backtrack a little bit. Just like how there was that person who was like defending, you know, Dang Shades, or how I was defending Dang Shades. A lot of people commented like snowboarding is the only place where people hate on brands like being in the business or something like that. And it's not like they said like snowboarding is the only place that this happens.
Were you having a back and forth like argument with these people?
Yeah, I do.
Keyboard warrior back and forth.
I don't get in a keyboard warrior thing with them. I usually just like leave a comment and then leave it. I don't like go back and forth with them. I just like say my piece or try and correct them. But I'm not, you know, like I don't care what people do, you know. All I try and do is just recommend like a snowboarding version of it, right? If someone's going to go and buy goggles, especially on like the cheaper end of things, If they're not going out and spending $200 on a pair of goggles,
introductory, right? Like
yes.
they're just getting into it. So
then I would rather they go
$300 Oakleys or
bingo.
something. Yeah.
I would rather they go and support a brand like Dank Shades as opposed to a brand like Shady Rays. You know, like Shady Rays doesn't care about snowboarding at all. They care about, oh yeah, we also make a goggle that people are going to buy, you know? So if someone's going to go out and just buy a goggle, I would rather they spent money on a snowboarder's brand.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
And if it's a friend, you're like, yeah, dude, check out their stuff. It's good stuff.
For sure. But so anyway, going back to where I was starting to lead into was, this person said that snowboarding was the only place where he sees this sort of thing, you know, where people hate on like Dope Snow and Montec and all this stuff. But the reason is because those brands are not giving back into snowboarding. So people are merely recognizing companies or trying to get people to support companies that are supporting snowboarding, you know?
Yeah.
Like
these little jump up things are kind of goofy, like just trying to jump in and get some money off of something that they see is like doing well and not provide anything back. Kind of goes into like the core shop stuff too, right? Like
yeah. I mean, you're not going to see blenders in a core shop. You know, you're going to see them in the mall somewhere.
Yeah, they're not going to put on an event at Highland and
correct.
Like,
yeah, or be a sponsor of an event or have anything to do with it. You know, like other brands, smaller brands, snowboard brands are trying to do things in snowboarding. You know, like it's really frustrating when you're getting into an argument with people online and they have no idea what they're talking about. You know, they're like, oh, I recommend this. And then you're trying to just tell them like, hey, you should do this instead because this way you're putting money back into snowboarders' hands, you know, or back into snowboarders' pockets. And they're like, well, this just looks like another shitty Alibaba brand. You're like, I mean, every single thing that you're buying, bro, is that, you know, like, and everything you're recommending. So it's like really tough. And then, yeah, just like the snowboard Facebook groups are like, Facebook snowboard groups are also really brutal because there's, like I said, a lot of people giving disinformation, you know. Like I had a guy the other day, I had a snowboard for sale online, and this dude tried to convince me all the reasons why the snowboard I was selling was not right. And I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Like the dude said that his wife was, and then he's like, snowboards aren't based on height, they're based on weight. And I'm like, well, if you're 110 pounds and you're 6'9", then you probably shouldn't be riding a 143 that's meant for a 105-pound person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So there's different things all around, but you have these people that are online that just like tell people terrible stuff. I mean, you remember when you started snowboarding, right? If somebody had steered you in the wrong direction right off the bat, it could have changed the way you looked at snowboarding. Period, you know?
Yeah, totally. I got a purged snowboard. Do you remember those?
No.
Foam core, had a octopus on the base. Super flexy. You could like grab nose and tail. It was
That's pretty tight.
Pretty sick. Baseless bindings.
Yeah.
But it was like, it worked. You know what I mean? And it was like, oh, this is cool. But yeah, if someone would have given me a board that was like super stiff and a plank and they're like, go from skateboarding to this, I would be like, this sucks. Like, because that's back when people were still doing like the ski boot, hard boot carving stuff. I remember like seeing those out still. It was like you were freestyle or that. There wasn't like a big bridge between. And if I would have just started on something like that, like, yeah, dude, I would have been like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't.
Well, I would hate to go online or to be on one of those Facebook groups, have somebody recommend something bad for me. It's also funny because there's certain brands that are just like really popular. Like so many posts are about Jones snowboards. Like, oh, well, I got to get this. It's a Jones. I've got this Jones board. And I'm like, that is just so interesting how these waves of brands like go through these pages because like if all of a sudden Jones is getting talked about a lot, then naturally more people are going to be buying Jones from that group because they're seeing it all the time. So they must think it's really great, you know, or something spectacular. But I just would hate to like, let's say, like I said, there's pages online for every sort of skill level, right? So I would hate to be the person on one of those pages that's like, hey, I'm this, and I'm looking for a snowboard. And then somebody recommends me a 165 skunk ape because I'm 220 pounds, even though I'm only 5'4", you know, like that won't be fun. Right. So It's just really tough. And then it's just funny because you try and comment on these people and they like get
just
so mad.
Jump on it, right? They're just
dude, yeah.
I'm on here to fight. Let's go.
Well, there's a lot of that too. And there's a lot of like, there's even a lot of like people, which look, I'm fine for. If you go online, you are opening yourself up to commentary, right?
Oh, 100%.
But some people are so goddamn sensitive. Like, and there's like certain pages where you're not even allowed to like cuss or say like shit. Like, damn, dude, that sucks. Like it's like so hall monitored now,
Dang, that's crazy.
And that's why I kind of like no rule snowboarding, because it is what it is. But and there's no like rules about it. But you do occasionally get like the person that's like, well, when I'm snowboarding, my front foot gets a little sore. Should I change it from 13 degrees to 14 degrees? Front angle?
It doesn't exist.
And you're like, oh my God. Like, so often the case is just go snowboarding, try a couple different things until you find what works, right? Like,
yeah.
It's asking Facebook group, like, what works for one person isn't going to work for you. One thing that, like somebody, like if I were to go online and be like, hey, I'm looking for this board, like, I probably would get apps like nowhere similar to the boards that I actually ride. You know what I mean?
That's true. It is such an individualized thing.
Yeah.
Just like skateboarding too, I think, in a sense, right? Some people skate with one bushing.
Really?
I mean? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant like on one truck only had bushings. But yeah, one bushing on each side. I got you.
Yeah, I mean, there's just... Everyone's got different tight trucks, loose trucks, bindings, boots. Like, do you, I like a soft boot, soft binding. Sometimes I like a harder boot, you know what I mean? It kind of like adjusts to like what you're in.
Okay. That's funny you even mentioned that, because that reminds me of another thing. I saw another post about a dude who commented like, hey, I haven't worn new boots since like the 80s because I loved my extremely soft boots, right? Like, can anybody recommend me a good pair of boots?
Yeah.
Or no, I'm sorry, in the comment he said, the last pair of boots I wore was like Sorels in the 80s. Can anyone recommend another like soft boot for me? Everything I've tried has been too stiff. And then you have a whole bunch of comments telling this dude why soft boots are shitty and why he shouldn't buy soft boots. And it's like, he's not asking whether or not he should get stiff boots or soft boots. He obviously wants soft boots, just like I want soft boots. Yeah. You know what I mean? But yet there's a ton of comments saying like, oh, soft boots are shit, or like all this stuff, right? And then the other comments about it were like, I don't know, just go get another pair of Sorels. Like, you sound like an idiot. Like, do that. And it was like, his question literally was, can anyone recommend me a new soft boot? The last boots I had was in the 80s and they were Sorels. He didn't say I wanted another pair of Sorels. He didn't say I wanted stiff boots. He said he wants a new modern soft boot. And so I commented on it and I was like, hey man, I too like soft boots. I ride the 32 lights or whatever. I've also heard the Vans linerless are really good, and the DC something or other,
Yeah.
All like a really like low end, low cost soft boot, because that's what I would choose, because I also like soft boots,
Tell him to run him over in his car, break him
I mean,
in.
Take him in the shower, the hot tub, or whatever you want to do. Yeah. But it was just crazy to me that so many people were just talking so much shit, And I actually think in that comment I wrote, sorry for all the other people's dickhead comments. This is what I would recommend, and these are the boots. And everyone's like, I don't know what was being a dickhead. And I'm like, every single one of the comments pretty much on here, there's been like 3 people that have been helpful, and everyone else has said like dickhead comments.
Yeah.
Yep. Facebook social media groups, dude. Facebook groups, social media groups. Obviously, there's not those kind of like forums on like Instagram and social and other things like that.
It's kind of fun to jump on there and see people just while out though. Like for me, because I'm kind of new to it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's wild. The other crazy thing too is like obviously on the snowboarding sites, there's everybody is looking for like, well, 2 things. Everybody's looking for like a crazy deal, or everybody thinks that the stuff they have is worth $1 million. Like some dude posted a Playboy Burton board, and he wanted $2,000 for it.
Dude, I do remember those were worth money though, weren't they?
I mean, kind of, but not $2,000. No, maybe like what they were retail. Like maybe like Burton Custom was like $650. But you could probably get $650 if you had a new Playboy Burton limited edition one or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting. It's there's also Facebook pages that are there just to quote people values of their snowboards, you know? But that's a whole nother thing too. Like what one person thinks is valuable is not something somebody else thinks is valuable. Like obviously the valuable ones would be like a Terrier sword or a brushy trout or a brushy craps table or whatever, right? But for me, that wasn't the era that I grew up in snowboarding. So the boards that I have that are collectors are like this Scotty Whitlake or this, Unorthodox or the JP Walker board. Like that was the era of boards that I watched those people snowboard,
They were your heroes.
Yeah, totally. So those are like the boards that I find value in and that are collectible to me. But obviously some are kind of collectible, but they're obviously going to be worth more to me than they would be to somebody else,
Yeah. So I think you kind of answered your own question there.
What?
That people's value on stuff. It's like it's to the individual.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what? It's actually pretty crazy.
What?
There's a person selling a ridden Jeff Brushy trout that Brushy rode all through like the 93 season. And guess who's selling it? Jeff Brushy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's on like eBay right now for like $1,600. The bid's already up to, which is pretty crazy.
Is he saying like I rode this?
Yeah. It's like, this is the board I rode through all of the 93 season. It's a Brushy trout. He's like, this board is beat up. It is ridden. The bindings are like going to disintegrate if you try and ride them. This board is a wall hanger. But if you want my board that I rode like that time, I mean, it doesn't really get any more
Solid
legit
flex too, man. That's
than
sick.
a Brushy trout ridden by Brushy the year,
Sold by Brushy, sent by Brushy. That's tight.
Got to keep the box, have them autograph the shrink wrap, autograph the board. Be pretty tight.
That's tight.
If I had $1,600, actually, I bet it'd probably sell more. Who knows? I don't know.
You could sell some of your collectibles to someone who needs.
But
in our era.
But these are my collectibles. Like that's the thing. Like I'm a collector of. The reason I've collected these is because these are what I want to collect.
For sure.
Like I don't have to me. Okay, yeah. If anyone's got an extra Terrier sword laying around, let me know. I'm throw one over. But that's not like a big deal for me to have. I would much rather have this Whitlake behind me than a Terrier sword.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, Facebook groups in general are a trip, man. Like, if you guys are on them, give me a shout. Hey, recommend the show. Throw the show on there.
There you go.
Post this episode on those pages. So see if they actually watch them and what they think of them. I don't know. It's interesting. The internet holds a lot of hate and a lot of animus towards random people for no reason, and a lot of Facebook heroes that are just like commenting and talking shit, and then a lot of people that are just like think that they're experts, or I work in a snowboard shop so I know what I'm talking about. Like a lot of that.
Yeah, they were trained by the brand that they're gonna, whatever.
Yeah, dude, I remember
I worked in a shop. I know.
Oh, did you?
Oh,
Which shop did you work at?
Cal Surf.
Oh, you did work there
off and on for a couple seasons.
When you would have clinics, did you guys call them clinics?
Yeah, they
like
were
brand
called clinics.
clinics.
Yeah, and the rep would come in and if you sell this amount of boards, you can get some free pizza.
Oh, okay. Well, this is a perfect way to go with this. Like, so if you're one of those shop dudes on snowboarding Facebook page, you would probably try and upsell the stuff that you're trying to sell, right? Or that you were fed by a rep.
For sure.
Yeah.
100%. Just like now there's like curated website, right? I wonder if they're getting.
That's a whole nother topic.
I wasn't hireable.
Did you try and do it?
I just was like, let's just see, answer these questions.
Yeah.
And I think honestly, it went to that size thing you were talking about, where it's like, if you're this weight, you ride this, and it's like, well, that's a fucking stupid question because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It all matters, and what kind of riding you're gonna do. So it's like
Yeah.
I definitely was like, this is something else. But yeah, I did see that with like reps where they'd pop in and be the K2 rep or something and be like, all right, dudes, like sell enough K2s. CalSurf never sold K2s, but they would try, and it'd be like, if you sold more of these, you would get something. And
my buddy worked at a shop in Reno, my roommate actually, and this was probably...
What shop?
It was... I don't even want to mention it because I don't support them and I don't like them. But...
Does it start with an E?
No.
Okay.
That was Eternal, and they were the shit, but they're no longer around.
Yeah.
And I loved Eternal. I wish they were still around. But
I knew you rode for them. That's why I asked.
Yeah. No. This wasn't a brand. This wasn't a place I rode for, but there was another shop in town. Let's just put it this way. They're a patio furniture store that also sells ski and snowboard gear in the winter.
We had one of those here, too.
Yeah. Bedford was big money in it. But this was in like 2007, 2008, and it was when Flow was really trying to make their push. It was like when Anti-Auti rode for them and Scotty Lego and all that stuff. And they were getting crazy incentives. Like if you sold like 50 pairs of bindings, you got like $1,000. Like if you got like sold a snowboard and bindings, like
50 bindings is a shit load to sell though.
Yeah, but not if you're only trying to push Flow bindings. Like they incentivized them so well that that's all they were pushing. You know what I mean? So it's
good for the brands, I guess.
I mean, it's smart.
Yeah.
But it is interesting how those sort of gimmicks transfer over.
Like Zoomies, that 10,000K, is that what it is? Or
100K.
100K?
Yeah.
So if they sell $100,000 worth of gear in the shop, they get to go to that.
They're invited to Zoomies 100K, I think. That's how it works.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
That's what I've been
But
told.
now with inflation, it should be you got to sell 150,000K. 150K.
Zoomies 150K.
Yep. Hey, you can invite us. I'd be down. I'll linger.
I'll go hang. It looks fun.
I mean, it does look like a pretty good party.
Rappers and skateboarders hanging out.
Yeah, rappers, skateboarders, comedians, actors. I think a few years ago, Shooter McGavin was there.
Oh, really?
I believe so.
What's
yeah.
that guy's real name?
It beats me, dude. I have no idea. But no, I guess the moral of the story is if you guys are looking to go and buy a snowboard, go to a snowboard shop. Go to a snowboard shop.
Yeah.
Or
100%.
Go to a trusted resource. Go to the brand. If you're interested, if you like, let's say that you really, really want a Rome snowboard, just for argument's sake, go to Rome. See what they've got. They'll probably steer you in the right direction, and then you're kind of going to be happy with what you want.
And their website will probably tell you what shop to go to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. I mean, it's a lot better to listen to somebody who actually works and is in snowboarding than just somebody who goes snowboarding, you know? And unfortunately, a lot of those Facebook groups, a lot of those pages are a lot of people that snowboard but are not snowboarders. Going back to like our talk from a little bit ago, you know? Like, I have a Jones hovercraft and it's great. Well, that's awesome. I want to do front boards through triple kinks.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not going to ride a Jones Aviator.
Like just from working in the shop, like a lot of people would want like the Travis Wright's board, and you're like,
didn't matter what kind of snowboard.
That's great.
Yeah.
But are you doing Travis Rice things at Highland Hills, at Buck Hill, at these little spots? Or, all right, you're doing your 1 year trip to Breckenridge and you're going to do Travis Rice things all of a sudden?
Or just level with me. Do you just want to spend a shitload of money and make your friends jealous? Because we can have that discussion too.
Well, you golf. I've gotten out golfing with my brother, and you see those dudes. Oh, dude, the fucking ping, blah blah blah, and I still suck. And they talk back and forth about that, and you're like, okay, cool. Like you just gave that company $1,000 for a stick. And maybe you know what I mean.
You're like, yeah, but dude, these ones are blades. Like you do know that blades have a club face that's half the size of a normal face, and you are going to have 10 times harder of a time hitting that club correctly. Yeah, but dude, they were $2,000.
Yeah, that's sick. Like,
it's sick. Yeah, I mean,
that's sick to who? Just to the guy you ride in a golf cart with, and you can talk about.
Dude, my favorite thing of all time is like my brother and I. We used to play a game when we would ride at Keystone and Breckenridge, and the game was called Guess If They're Good or Not. And it was like you would look at people and they'd be like head to toe, dope kit, probably spent like $700 on just their outfit. They got the new board, and then you watch him just eat shit off the lift, and you're like, yes, like I won, because I knew this dude was too good looking to be true. So it's always funny, man. It's not about the gear. It's about how well you use it.
It's not gonna, you're not gonna all of a sudden be fucking sick because you got a good
T-Rice board, because you got a golden T-Rice Orca. That's a model.
I know those. I sold
Yeah.
some of those.
Did they? I don't even know. Yeah, the orca, man.
I do like killer whales, man.
Hey, dude, not as much as Ryan Paul. Killer whales are cool.
That's true. Him and I could chat about killer whales all day, I think.
Yep. I mean, they're pretty awesome. Well, anyways, killer whales. Another time, Jordan. We can talk about killer whales.
Well, I just got to say, I did have the 3rd grade yearbook cover from a killer whale that I drew. It's very influenced by Free Willy.
Yeah, I mean, Free Willy. I wonder where he's at now, dude. Tillamook.
He died.
It's not Tillamook. Tillamook is the cheese company.
What was his name?
Tillicum. Till I come.
I think it was Tillamook, dude, right?
No, Tillamook is the cheese company. It's Tillicum. I don't know. One of them.
Let us know,
doesn't let us know in the comments who what the name of the whale was that killed all the other the people, because he was locked in a cage at SeaWorld. I don't know.
Watch Blackfish and you'll cry. I don't know if you've seen it.
That's what it was? Isn't that the documentary?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Blackfish.
pretty fucked.
It is gnarly. I mean, dude, Steve-O climbed up onto an overpass sign and like taped himself to like a blow up orca and hung from it, didn't he? To protest.
I don't know, but that's sick.
It's very Steve-O like.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you guys are members, like I said, if you guys are members on that Facebook group, let us know what you guys think about it, and also share this post or share this video on there. I'd be curious to see what people think of it.
Let's see the comments, dude.
Let's see the comments. Open us up
comments.
to some comments. Like, I'm down. I'm ready to get shredded. I don't care.
Yeah. I don't give a shit.
Gotta have if you're in the YouTube business / this business, you gotta have tough skin.
That's true.
You know?
Yep.
And don't take everything so personally, everybody. Because they probably won't say it to your face. You know?
Say whatever you want.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Jordan, anything you want to say?
I got nothing. This was fun.
Sorry, I kind of rambled on this whole time.
I learned something because I'm new to this whole Facebook.
Yeah.
You send me some stuff, and I'm like, oh, cool.
I mean, I like it for hunting down old rare boards, stuff like that.
It's kind of fun just to see what people are thinking and talking about.
Yeah. No, it is interesting.
Look at this stuff. But I am kind of one of those dudes that pops on. I'm like, well, you should check out Dang Shades or Ride Snowboards.
Yeah, I like making good recommendations.
Yeah, because you want to, I mean, it brought me back to even working at the shop. You know, you want to set someone up with like a good setup.
Yeah.
That's why you should support like local skate shops, snowboard shops, because
and support snowboarding.
It's going to be those are going to be the people that are going to give back. They're going to steer you the right way. I think that's
for sure.
You know, it's really important.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for leaving comments. Thank you for chatting with us. And guys, from us at The Drop, adios.
I was going to say adios.
No, okay, say it.
Adios.
Later.
Later.